Alright, so just a quick trade. I'm taking it with half leverage because, well, it's not really a time that I trade, but I think it's pretty good. There was an hourly order block with the 4-hour reclaimed order block. So right here, that's a reclaimed order block. And on the 15-minute chart, we created this up close candle that moved above this high there, and we saw a market shift. And so that's the reasoning to take this trade with that market shift. I'm just really targeting the first low. Honestly, I'm not really looking for anything too crazy. Like a 10-point stop, nothing really crazy. This inverse fair value gap, I'd like to resist price and price not really get back above that. With paired with that fair value gap in these order blocks, I think that's pretty strong, and I wouldn't really want price to go back above it. So let's see that. And then obviously the bias to the sell side liquidity is still in play, so we kind of like trended in the late morning and lunch, and then now we're cleaning up all those orders. So I'm of that opinion, and potentially seeing a nice run down to sell side liquidity. Yeah, so right now I'm not, it's allowed to come back inside this gap and inside the bigger fair value gap here, but I wouldn't really want it to fill. I wouldn't really want this to fill at all, so actually I could put my stop down a little bit. I'm more than fine with this risk. So we'll make that red and we'll say should not fill. It would be even better if it never even gets in there. We also have the midnight open, which supported price just a little bit. like this movement. See how we refuse to come back in here. We're not really filling it, and we're slowly making our way down to the area. Come on. Come on, get going. I'm putting my stop. No, I should just leave the stop. No, I shouldn't come back up there. No. We will put a break even. Because even if it comes back up there, I'd rather just be out at that point. Seeing all that movement and then have it come back on me, it's always just, I would really hate to take a loss. And so to protect my mental equity, not just my price equity, but you know how much money I have, but my mental equity, I would do that. Hello everyone. So we've came down to our sell side level. I'm just quickly explaining the trade idea. Alright, so we had midnight open here, and at the beginning of the day, we came up to this level here in a premium. So that's from high to low, 50%. We came up above 50% in a premium, hit this inverse fair value gap here if you drag that out, and then price left from it, created a bearish order block here, came back at the order block, market structure shift, expanded lower, and we took part on a small retracement back to this hourly fair value gap here. But in the afternoon, we came back up after nearing the sell side liquidity. We came back up to this hourly, this is a reclaimed order block there, inside of a 4-hour reclaimed order block. So I'm calling it 4-hour, but I'm using a bigger range, all these down close candles. So I shouldn't really say 4-hour, but should be 1 hour actually. Right, but that was the idea behind this move lower and down the sell side liquidity. And on the 15-minute chart, you see that when we came up here, I didn't drop down to the lower time frame and was certain about a play until I saw the order block get created. This up close candle 1330 that ran up into turtle soup, the high at 13 o'clock. So I remember I was watching 13 o'clock drop in here, and then 13:15 made an attempt lower but didn't get beneath it. Came back up, created a kind of consolidation candle, and I said, okay, if now closer to the 2 o'clock hour we want to close down here and create a market structure shift after trading beneath the short-term high, that's a confirmation, and that's going to then follow with more down close candles, right? So on the 5-minute chart, you have your market structure shift there, you have the turtle soup, and there's this inverse fair value gap which is visible on the 1-minute chart that I was watching above our midnight open. And let me label this as market structure shift. And on the 5-minute chart, we leave this sort of, as we expand down here, we leave a sort of fair value gap, but I'm not necessarily needing price to come back into here. It can be left as a breakaway gap. What I was watching is a inverse fair value gap. So this white gap here was the last gap of this range. This is one big order block, right? On like the 5-minute chart, you could see that this up close candle here should be resisting price, and because the next 15-minute and 5-minute candles should be bearish, I'm wanting to see if is price willing to close beneath this. So when we got this huge displacement lower, closed beneath it, I was expecting a fair value gap to form, and because we refused to go back into this range up here, wow, because we refused to come back up here, I wanted this level to hold, and that's why this gap, I labeled it should not fill. And then price did not fill it. It did not go back to it, in fact, and that is even more bearish. So I knew that because it did not go back to it, I was confident as it was consolidating here a little bit and left. I remember that as it was retracing, that this would just be an entry if it comes into here, and it would quickly move away from it, wick away from it, and drop down to sell side liquidity. What I was targeting is my terminus to the trade idea was down here, sell side liquidity. However, I was also paying attention to the fact that we had already won today, right? We had already won a trade, and I wasn't looking for much else, right? So what I did is just look for the least. I mean, I took it with half leverage. I looked for 15 points, just the nearest short-term, long-term low. So this is a pretty spaced out low, and price blasted past it, but I was content with the trade, and that's it, right? And we found resistance at midnight open, and I knew that as we were moving past midnight open, right, we should not really want to come back above it. We should be expanding. So I could have held it for a lot more, but it's not about how much money you're making. It's about being consistent and preserving your mental equity. And so what was best for my mental equity after having already traded back here in the morning, what was best for my mental equity is to stop and to aim for the least. right? Which was just a quick trade because it was textbook if I were to take a trade. So now the P&L is up to 565. We're at 26,107.98. And that's all. Thank you very much. Have a good day.